Welcome to another edition of Talking Politics with Dr. Oladipo, which we do in conjunction with News Pop NG. I am your regular host, Dr. Oladipo, the publisher of The Eagle Online, which operates at www.theeagleonline.com.ng. In this edition, we'll be looking at the upcoming March 11, 2023 governorship and State House of Assembly elections in Oyo State. With me on the program to analyze what the likely outcome will be of those two elections is an horticulturist, both at the degree and master's level, and publisher of Oyo's Searchlight, and also one who has a firm grip on happenings on the political scene in Oyo State. He is also the spokesman of Honorable Ajibola Muraino, who is representing Ibarapa Central and North Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. Highly present on the social media space and following issues and developments in the state. Please join me in welcoming to this edition of our program the publisher of Oyo Searchlight and a guru on the political scene, Mr. Olubunmi Sodipo. You are welcome, sir. Okay, sir. Let's start on a general note. How do you think that the election that we had on March 25, that is the presidential and national assembly elections, will rub off on what will happen on March 11 in Oyo State?
What March 25 did for the election in Oyo State is that they allowed all the so-called, let's say, players in the election, particularly the gubernatorial candidate of various political parties, to know exactly what they weigh. You know, a lot of people have been making mouths. There was somebody who contested the gubernatorial election last time, and he said that the number of votes he had back then, that he has banked it. That what he's looking for is just an extra number of votes that will now make him a governor this time. Now that person, his party didn't have any rep, his party didn't have any senator. So that kind of individual now will now begin to have an idea of how much he weighs in the political case of Oyo State. You understand? So the March 25 election, actually opened eyes and you gave each individual an idea of how much they weigh. You know, people have an idea of thinking of themselves more than the electorate thinks of them. But then that March 25 election revealed some of those things.
And you believe that the outcome of that election is actually a true reflection of what the politics of Oyo State is at present?
Largely. You know, there will be areas too that are exceptions to the rule. For example, there are areas where somebody, carried guns and thugs and entered the polling unit, and they made sure that the votes for that particular area was not counted. And that particular area is a stronghold of somebody. So that person, his election now is inconclusive, or might even have been recorded as a loss because votes that are supposed to come from his strongholds were not counted. So there will be pockets of such, but largely the March 25 election in Oyo State is a true representation of what
you are talking about the February 25 election. February 25 election. Not March.
Yeah, the February 25 election, my brother. Yeah, it's a true reflection of especially concerning the presidential election. You understand?
Yes. But some people have argued that the governor for your state, that is Seyi Makinde, actually sold out his party to the All Progressives Congress in exchange for what will be support for him in the March 11 governorship election. How do you react to that? And that was why the PDP lost all the senatorial seats and majority of the federal constituencies.
All you need to do to debunk that kind of false claim is to look at what happened in Rivers State. Wike's River delivered maximum votes to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he fulfilled his promise as a member of G5. And yet he won all his senatorial and House of Rep seats. You understand? In the case of Seyi Makinde, he has lost control of even his own party. How much more the might and the mandate of the people of Oyo State? That's why he couldn't deliver any of his senators, and he lost the majority of the House of Rep. So anybody that is saying Seyi Makinde delivered something for Tinubu in another state is just deceiving himself or herself. If he delivered so for your state or for Asiwaju, why couldn't he deliver for his senators? Do you think Seyi Makinde will be confident going into the March 11 elections without any senatorial contest won on its platform, with the majority of House of Rep candidates or House of Rep contest lost on its platform? Do you think anybody will wish that on himself? Wike did not wish that on himself, and Wike took care of business. So if the one in Oyo State couldn't take care of business, it's because the business is out of his hand. So anybody saying anybody deliver something for Asiwaju and is expecting a return, from who are you expecting a return now? From APC candidate that or from APC loyalists that voted their candidate and got their president elected and got their senators elected? Are they the ones now that you are expecting will vote for you as governor? Or from your PDP members whose presidential candidate you screwed up? Is this from those people you'll be expecting a payback? What kind of payback are you expecting? Negative or positive? So whoever is saying all of that is just deceiving himself.
Yes, but there are people who already say that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised him the support of the APC, and that's why some of these Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the BAT support groups, have declared backing. They are backing for the incumbents.
Those support groups that are mentioned, those so-called support groups that were mentioned in the publication you saw, that I saw, are all fictitious. I'm aware that a concerted effort was made in the record of the support groups in Oyo State, and those names were not found there. They were just fictitious names to create this same impression. You understand? To create this same impression that, okay, this is payback time for somebody who on the Thursday before the election released a newspaper and told all his supporters to vote for Atiku. When he realized too late, the game that is played on him. On the Thursday before the election, he released a needed it's too late. Who knew he's not with them? And you know what? There's even something he informed authorities. Because all of this cannot be proved. Because it's not in the open space. He allegedly created a situation where those funds cannot be used. So deliberately aiding Atiku's loss. And those who are working for Atiku are aware of that. So having done that, you now be expecting the same set of people to now vote for him or work for him? Sorry, I don't think it will happen because the people are not as stupid as they are.
But there is this saying on the political scene that one good turn deserves another. If the governor, from what he has been telling us, has performed well, why will he not get a second term? Even if it comes down to politics, has he not performed well?
The truth of the fact is that he has not been performing well. He has a very good media team, and they make a lot of noise about what when you look at it, you understand. When you interrogate it, you realize there is nothing. One of the things the governor boasts about most is paying salaries promptly. of civil servants and of teachers. Abi? Now, payment of salary of teachers, that's an input. Abi? It's an input into a system that you expect to bring result, positive result. Well, the result you are getting is that 50 Oyo State schools, something that has never happened in the history of Oyo State, were delisted from WAEC for exam practices. That's the output you are getting from the regular payment of salaries that he keeps boasting about. You understand? The dilapidation of infrastructure that you have in Oyo State schools right now, it has an unprecedented level. No government has superintendent over such dilapidation. That's the output you are getting. Meanwhile, the input you keep hearing about is that you pay salary regularly on the 25th of every month. You understand? Poly that used to be ranked as high as third, fifth, is now being ranked 24, 25. That's the output you are getting. From bypassing the governing council and appointing a consultant to handle the affairs of tertiary institutions in Oyo State. So if somebody is telling you he has done well, if he has done well, why is he running around from pillar to post, looking for endorsement for himself? You will hear that the Labour Party endorsed him today. Next day, Atiku group, Tinubu groups endorsed him tomorrow. This endorsed him yesterday. I even saw a report on television. Ogun Labour Party endorsed Makinde. Imagine Ogun Labour Party in Ogun State endorsing the governor in Oyo State. That shows you how desperate this man who has done practically nothing. Let me tell you, the debt Seyi Makinde has incurred for Oyo State in 4 years at the administration is more than all the administrations before him put together. Akala, Ajimobi put together. You understand? We are not where I'm holding this conversation with you is not far from Agbo shopping complex. The place was leased out for like close to 20 years on a patchy sum of money. Over 3 years of administration, nothing has happened in that place. There are so many things one can mention. He carried like 5,000 Oyo State youths to Nasarawa to go and learn about agriculture. When we have Green here, we have Print here, we have Nihot here, we have IITA here, we have all agricultural schools and facilities there. You know, the College of Agriculture Bora is there. He went and wasted Oyo State money in Nasarawa. And out of the 5,000 in Nasarawa, you can count 100 after 3-4 years of administration that has started a working farm right now. Do I need to tell you about Light Up Oyo, and how diesel generators were chosen ahead of solar light, renewable energy in Oyo State in 21st century? So I don't need, if everybody is telling you he has done well, maybe that person is part of his clique or part of his corpus.
Well, what about road infrastructure? At least that's one of the areas where the government boasts it as its strengths. Are you saying those ones too don't exist?
Now, the truth is that all of the roads that he claimed he worked on, and he indeed worked on, are roads started by Ajimobi. The Ibadan-Iseyin road was started by Ajimobi. He cancelled the contract, added almost half the amount on top, and then he now did the road that after one single rainfall got spoiled again. The Akobo expansion, the Bere to Akobo expansion of the road was started by Ajimobi. The only thing he did there was the bridge at General Gas. That's the only thing he added to it. And then he will commission it and claim that it's his project. The circular road project was started by Ajimobi. But because of his shenanigans, he played in the Seyi Road and he played at Akobo Road. The contractors at circular road refused to be played the same game. That project has stalled now, and the case is in court. So this person, so he concluded, he finished this project, but they are really started by Ajimobi. Another of the projects that he claimed, and they were all started by Ajimobi, are the model school projects. He will come out and tell you that he has constructed so many projects, so many model schools. But all those model schools were started by Ajimobi project government. All he did was that he concluded them, which is commendable. I think that's one thing I can commend him for. The government should be a continuum, and it's wrong for a government to come in and say you will abandon all the projects started by his predecessor. But he should not now be claiming sole ownership or sole achievement of those projects, when in most places they are 90% finished by the time you started working on them.
Okay, because I was also going to ask if you are not going to commend him, but be outside of the People's Democratic Party.
As you can see, I'm objective. I'm objective, all right?
I was almost going to ask that. Outside of the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress, which other party will likely make an inroad, even if he can't win the governorship or maybe some seats in the House of Assembly? Which other parties are you looking at?
Well, considering when one looks at the result of the presidential and National Assembly election, you understand? I don't see any other party, even the Labour Party, as big a wave as it made nationally, don't have that very strong a following here in Oyo State. Oyo State youth don't have the beef Lagos State youth hard against Jagaban. You understand? So the protest votes Labour Party garnered in Lagos, it cannot touch in Oyo State. You understand? So if you ask the question, maybe a far distant thought, Labour Party, after APC and PDP, Labour Party can take a distant thought. But I don't see Labour Party, posting a big challenge or any major challenge to those two parties, first two parties you mentioned.
Yes, but there have been people who have said that one of your party members, a strong one at that, who left to be governorship candidate on the platform of another party, that is talking of the Adelabu factor now. Are you saying it has no role to play in this, considering the fact that he also has his own followers and supporters?
Now, I had opportunity to discuss this matter before on a radio show, and my opinion, my explanation back then was that the votes Adebayo, Adelabu, Kwenkelemes garnered in the 2019 election, those votes were votes contributed by the progressive family, lovers of Awolowo, lovers of Lamadeshina, lovers of Ajimobi, because he had Ajimobi's backing to get the ticket of the party. Those are the people that contributed those votes for him. You understand? Now, those same lovers of Ajimobi are now, he left them behind in the APC. Those same lovers of Awolowo, he left them behind in APC, the progressive party, the main progressive party that everybody knows. Those lovers of Lamadeshina, he left them behind. Lovers of Akala, I didn't even remember to mention that. Lovers of Akala, he left them behind in the APC. That's the result of that you saw in the presidential and national assembly elections, that he didn't have a single rep to his platform and no senator to his platform. As a matter of fact, he came distant third. Accord came distant third in the election. In some cases, Labour Party got more votes than Accord. In so many of the constituencies and the senatorial districts. So the mistake Chief Bayo Adelabu made was that he thought it was his personality that got him the votes he got in 2019. He didn't know that it was the platform he was on that got him those votes. He has left that platform behind. So let's see how much votes that he will get for himself if he stands for himself on a core party the coming election.
But your own party's candidate, that is the APC governorship candidate, has also had running battle in the past with members of the party. What has suddenly changed? What has now made him the darling? And won't those issues that he had in the past reflect on the outcome of this election?
You are talking about issues he had with party members.
Yes, in the past.
One of those issues
not make him to even come close to the governorship ticket.
One of the issues he had with party members was the issue of how, he arrived by the ticket. You understand? Was the issue of party primaries. His issue with Chief Adebayo with Kelemes was the issue of party primaries. No other issue. His issue with Chief Niyi, SAN, is the issue of party primaries. No other issue. The issue he had with Akim Agbaje was the issue of party primaries. The issue he had with Alawa Alao, the issue of party primaries. Issues he had with Adeduton was the issue of party primaries. And now, some of those gladiators have come to understand the fact that only one person can hold the ticket of a particular party. You understand? And so, Akim Agbaje is back in the poll. Alawa Alao is back in the poll. Adeduton ahead has crossed the line to PDP. Chief Bayo Niyi Akitola ahead is allegedly working on the ground for the PDP. But Chief Bayo Adelabu Clemente has been a proud owner of a platform by himself on accord. You understand? So everybody that is left in the APC, they are willing to work for the emergence of Senator Teslim Folani. Indeed, as an APC person, and as somebody who knows that in politics, the more the merrier, I would love a situation where Chief Adebayo Adelabu will honor the memory of Ajimobi, who gave him the ticket of APC when Teslim Folani, a more senior politician, to him was there, and he was desirous of the ticket. He should honor that memory and bring his supporters, join the fold, and make sure that the party comes tops in the coming Saturday election. But in the event of that or that not happening, Senator Teslim Folani has put in a lot of work, a lot of interfacing, a lot of interactive sessions, a lot of moves. He has visited all the regions in Oyo State, talking with stakeholders in the party and getting them to come and understanding about how we need to present a united front in the Saturday election. When Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to Ibadan to talk to the delegates of Oyo State towards his own picking up the ticket of the party as a presidential candidate, he told Folani, let me speak Yoruba now, Omari, Omar Bebe, Omar Dibo, Omar Wale. In other words, you will work, you will beg, you will contest, and then you will be victorious. You understand? During that space of time, and now, as we are speaking, Senator Teslim Folani has put in a lot of effort. He had visited all the geopolitical zones of Oyo State, and he had sat at tables in interactive sessions with stakeholders of the party in the Barapa zone, Okeozu zone, Oyo zone, Ogbomoso zone, all over. And I believe, I sincerely believe, that those issues that you think he had with party members had been resolved. At least for those who are in the party with him. The issue right now is to get those who had left the party, like Chief Adebayo, Adelabu Kwekelemes, to also sit at a round table with him. So what? Because it's not too late. Between now and Saturday, the sitting could still happen, and understanding could still be reached that will bring in Chief Adebayo Adelabu Kwekelemes.
Okay, sir. We didn't witness so much rancor or not too many skirmishes in Oyo State in the last elections. What will be your advice to people as they go to vote now, especially when you consider that this set of elections are closer to the people than what you had at the presidential and National Assembly levels? What will be your advice to the people of the state as they go out to vote?
My advice to the people of the state is that they should not take anything with levity. They should not assume because there were no incidents at their polling unit during the presidential and National Assembly election that there will be no incident this time. As you yourself have pointed out, this particular election is much closer to the people. Apart from that, one of the contestants in this election has at its beck and call an army of dogs masquerading as government workers as agents because their main man, their father figure, has been made the head of a government agency called PMS, Park Management System. A character called Auxiliary, who is the head of all the thugs, is made the head of that government agency. And so his boys, his thugs, are masquerading as government agents. And they will not sit by on election day and see the pot of soup taken from their order. So you can expect that they will try some things on Saturday. So Oyo State people should be vigilant. As soon as they see any sign or gatherings of such individuals and characters, they should let the proper authorities know. Police, DSS, even army cantonments and barracks, if necessary, so that their bandits and their votes will not be stolen by an army of thugs.
Let me thank you so very much. Our publisher, the publisher of Oyo Searchlights, Olubunmi Sodipo, for appearing on this program. It's been nice talking to you, and our hope is that while the election is on, we'll also be able to interact with you and find out developments on Saturday. Thank you very much once again for honoring us. And that is how we end it again on this edition of Talking Politics with Dr. Oladipo. Don't forget you can make your contributions to the program via a 2-minute video or an email of not more than 500 words sent to Dr. Oladipo at theeagleonline.com.ng. Dr. Oladipo at theeagleonline.com.ng. On behalf of Talking Politics with Dr. Oladipo and News Pop NG crews, I say catch you on our next edition. Bye.